Some days at the zoo are about slowing down, watching a tiger stalk through the grass, locking eyes with a gorilla, or wandering through pavilions that transport you to another world. And some days are about celebrating life a little louder. Earlier this summer, I spent a full day exploring the Toronto Zoo, where I got to explore the unique diversity of the animal kingdom, from the tiniest insect to the hungriest hippo. But this visit wasn't just about the animals, because this was Pride Day, ending with something completely unexpected, unapologetically joyful, and absolutely unforgettable. So come along as I explore the Toronto Zoo, the animals, the attractions, and one very special celebration in the wildest adventure vlog this channel has ever seen. Good day everyone, welcome to Adventures with Parker, and hello from the Toronto Zoo. My name is Parker, and like I said, today we are at the zoo, and I'm here for the first time in years. Like last time I was at the zoo, I was a very young child, and I've been talking about coming back for so long, and today I finally decided to come. And the reason being, the thing that kind of pushed me to actually make my grand return is because today they are doing some special Pride events. So there's going to be a drag story time, there's a drag show that they're doing later tonight, and I'm definitely doing the drag show. I'm not sure about the story time because that's more geared for younger children, but still, I am super excited to be back for both Pride and just for the zoo itself. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it and let the Toronto Zoo adventures begin. Okay, so first of all, huge shout out to my friend Hannah for getting me in on a guest ticket today. I really appreciate that. But something to note is that the front entrance of the zoo is currently under construction. So it's a bit of a mess, and they have you going in through a temporary entrance. So, you know, your experience of walking into the zoo isn't what it normally should be. And from what I hear, they're supposed to be moving it back to the original location at the end of July. But yeah, in the meantime, we just had to go through this weird temporary process. But you know what? We got in okay, it's all good. But the other thing is that, like I said before the intro, it's been years since I've been to the zoo. I do not know the layout of this place, and I did take a map, but I think what I'm going to do, at least for the first few hours, is just try to explore blindly. Like, try not to rely on the map, just try to walk around and stumble upon what I happen to stumble upon. Because I mean, I imagine I will be returning to the zoo sometime soon. It won't quite be the almost 2-decade break that it was last time. So if I don't get to everything today, that's okay. But yeah, we're just going to wander around and explore. A real adventure today. I always love me a good carousel, but this one is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, like, it fits perfectly with the theme of having all the different animals, mostly rainforest animals from the look of things. I can see some tapirs, some armadillos, a turtle, some monkeys, some tropical frogs. This is just so elegant and so beautiful. Yeah, we love to see it. Alright, so our first exhibit here is called the Malaysian Woods, and it's basically like a little rainforest. So there's different plants, there's fish, and I'm really not sure what else, but we're gonna find out. Oh, this is cool. They have the clouded leopards here. She's just hanging up on that little hammock. That's not the right word. I don't know what to call it. He's just chilling up there. I definitely remember these guys from when I was a kid. So I guess I have some memories coming back to me now. All right, so that was kind of cool as our first indoor exhibit of the day. The only thing I didn't like is that it was super crowded. It was really hard to move around, and you know, you had to be really patient if you wanted to get enough close look at the animals. But you know, if you're willing to take the time, show a bit of patience and grace, you get to see everything. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Moving right along, I think we're still in the Indo-Malay area, but I've heard whispers that there is an orangutan exhibit up here. So yeah, let's see if those rumors are true. We have several species of turtle and tortoise in this exhibit, and I want to say this one is the brown star? And I believe the ones we're looking at now are the Burmese star tortoises. Oh. So, from what I understand, this is a brand new outdoor habitat for the orangutans. So we haven't been able to get the best view of the orangutans yet, but they are around. We've seen a few. But one thing that I wanted to point out here is that they are really big on conservation here at the zoo. And one of the biggest things you see around here for the orangutans is the importance of fighting back against the palm oil industry, because palm oil harvesting is what's really destroying a lot of habitat for these orangutans, and that's putting them at risk. So, I mean, I just really commend the zoo for bringing awareness to that issue. There's little QR codes that you can scan all around if you want to learn more, and I know one of them leads to a guide for purchasing products that don't have palm oil, so you're making good, sustainable, and environmentally conscious decisions. So, yeah, I love that so much.
Yeah, the monkey is very fast.
So these guys are actually from Central America, not the Indian subcontinent, but these are green-crested basilisks. And these lizards are really cool because they actually have the ability to run on water to escape predators. This is cool. They have habitats on both sides of the path, and then they have this covered walkway which allows it to go between the different enclosures. There it is. All right, it looks like we've stumbled across to the next area of the zoo. Looks like we're coming upon the African sector now, and right ahead is the African Rainforest Pavilion. So the last one we were in was the Indo-Malay Pavilion. This one is all going to be the African animals. So just like how at the orangutan habitat, they were talking about palm oil and how you should choose sustainable palm oil products, the gorilla habitat is all about how to recycle your cell phone, and they even have a little drop box here. So if you came to the zoo with an old cell phone, you could drop it in here and the zoo would recycle it for you. All right, more tortoises in here, and this time it is the spider tortoise. Oh my gosh, they're so small. They're so cute. My goodness. Alright, so in here we have a tomato frog, one of many amphibians endemic to Madagascar. And I want to say that little tiny one is a mantella frog, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Well, speaking of Pride Month, this tank is home to the ngege fish. So up here we have some replicas of some weaver nests. Now weavers are birds, and the sign I was just reading said that they're one of the only birds that know how to tie knots. And as you can see, they create these very intricate woven nests that just hang up in the trees. Like I said, these ones are replicas, so they weren't actually made by the birds, but still. Very cool, very interesting to see such craftsmanship in the animal kingdom. I know we've already seen a lot of tortoises today, but I had to point this one out because it is the red-footed tortoise, which obviously has red feet. How cute. Here we have some more birds. We have the South African shelduck, and then we also have the sacred ibis.
That's the same. There's only one.
So we just saw the pygmy hippos inside, and now these ones are the river hippos, much larger and more iconic and recognizable ones. Oh my gosh, giraffes are so cool. I mean, I don't know why, but for some reason over the past few years, I've really just gained an appreciation for giraffes. And I mean, I've never really paid them much attention before.
They're looking at you.
So although the gorillas we saw inside were all females, ones out here today are the males. And this one's just chilling in the corner here.
He's not actually crying. He gets fake crying.
Okay, this is cool. Right next to the gorilla habitat, they have a high ropes course. I actually don't know if it's open today, but still, that's kind of neat. And I'm sure you can get some good views of the gorilla enclosure from up there. All right, so it's just past noon now, and I am turning into a hungry hippo myself. So we're gonna grab some lunch here at the Africa restaurant. I don't really know much about the restaurants here at the zoo, but I mean, this one's right here. So just for the sake of convenience, this is where we're gonna stop. Oh, okay, so this just appears to be a basic smoked poutineery. That's not bad. This is a good place. All right, so at the outside window, they have a small menu featuring smoked poutineery and pizza. So I got myself the chicken bacon ranch poutine, which looks really good. But what I didn't realize is that there's actually more options inside the restaurant. I thought it was kind of like you order at the window, then you go inside to find a seat, but you know, there's a whole other counter in here. But oh well, this works. This hits the spot. Another cool thing that the zoo offers are these reusable cups, and I'm gonna keep this because I'm gonna keep refilling it all day. But then at the end of the day, you can scan this little QR code and actually receive a deposit back. So that's kind of good because I was thinking, wow, this drink is kind of expensive, but no, it was just the deposit on the cup, which is great because then it ensures that it gets recycled and reused properly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Here, look, they've got a friend who's not a penguin. Oh, look. Me neither.
I think it's an eagle.
Yeah, those are so
I think the
Oh, nice penguin.
penguins eat flies.
They do not eat flies, no. You know what penguins eat?
All right, we're still in the African area, but this particular section is denoted as Kesho Park, which is basically where you're gonna find the Savannah overlook. I really appreciate how they made it like its own themed area though. That's really cool. So it's a little hard to spot, but if you look way out there, you can see a zebra. Oh my gosh, cheetahs are another one of my favorites. I mean, they're basically just giant cats. I mean, yeah, they are big cats, but they act like your regular house cats, just supersized, and they're just so adorable. Love watching them. These ones were pretty chill. They were just laying down in the corner. They were kind of hard to see because they were way off to the side in their exhibit, but still, always happy to see the cheetahs. And here's a better look at our zebra. These are Giraffes zebras. There's 3 different species, but this one's the Giraffes, and they are the largest but most endangered of the 3 zebra species. Big stretch. All right, we're about to enter our next realm, which is the Americas Pavilion. And this one is mostly focused on animals from Central and South America. There is a separate Canadian Dominion as well, which is actually over by Africa. I guess it would have been more efficient to do that one first, but I kind of wanted to prioritize some of these other realms before circling back to that one. No offense to our local Canadian animals, but you know, I feel like those are more common and I'd like to see the more exotic and charismatic animals first. So yeah, we're gonna check this out, do the Tundra area as well, and then maybe circle back to the Canadian Dominion towards the end of the day if we have time.
From a different angle.
It's a bird's eye view now.
See their little noses.
Hello. You're beautiful. Oh my goodness.
They're very stinky.
I never knew that there's such a thing as river stingrays, but here we are. I guess they're native to the rivers in South America, the Amazon basin, but also like Colombia, Venezuela. Wow. So, oh, cool. So here we have an eastern loggerhead shrike type of bird. Looks like he's making some vocalizations there. Obviously, we can't hear him through the glass. And then right here, we have a couple of poison dart frogs. Yeah, looks like there's two of them. Yeah, there they are. My phone actually decides to focus. Oh, and another one back there too. I just saw some movement. Some Gila monsters just chilling out in the little rock cave here. I'm sure they're keeping nice and cool in there. And right next door to that is the Guatemalan beaded lizard. Now these guys are endangered and they're only found in one little valley in Guatemala. So a very sensitive habitat and obviously a very isolated habitat. So that makes it even more important to protect than ever. Alright, right here we have an eastern Massasauga rattlesnake, the only venomous snake to be found in Ontario. And this is my first one seeing one in person, and thank goodness it's behind glass.
Somebody made a name. I just got covered in goosebumps.
Oh, this is cool. They have a little motion simulator thing, and it looks like you can pick from 3 different films to watch, and then kind of like the Trial Tech rides, you put on a VR headset and start bouncing along. That's so cool. They also have this ride called Tundra Air, and for 13 bucks, that's not too bad. I might give it a shot. Okay, so I just did Tundra Air and it was low-key, a little scary, but very, very fun. I did not realize that we were actually taken up to quite that height. I didn't really watch it before going on, which maybe I should have, but it was great. I mean, it's basically just a glorified zip line, but you got to see some animals from up there. I saw some polar bears, some wolves. You got a great view of the zoo. And I mean, it was just a fun ride too. Coming into the station, like you were going so fast and the braking system hit kind of hard. So it's like, oh my God, are we gonna stop in time? Obviously you do. It's super safe, but it was kind of crazy. That was fun. And now we are continuing on with more of the tundra area and maybe get a look at those animals that I saw from the air up close on the ground. And of course, this animal isn't alive, but this is a skeleton or a replica of the skeleton of a bowhead whale. Also very interesting because like you think whales, they have these fins, but you can actually see they have the same bone structure with the mandible and the fingers and all that as every other mammal. It's just the soft tissue that makes it like a flipper. Oof, that viewing room was so crowded. It was really hard to see the polar bear. I mean, obviously not the polar bear's fault. He's entitled to go back into his little room for some privacy, but when he popped out again, it was just chaos. So I wish I got a better look. But yeah, I don't want to stick around there for too long. Okay, so it looks like just beyond the tundra area, there's actually more of the Americas Pavilion. It's kind of separated into 2 different areas. And I guess normally in here we'd find capybaras, but it looks like the habitat's currently under a refresh, so they've probably been moved inside, which, yeah, let's go in and find out. Oh my goodness, guys, it is the 8th wonder of the world, the backside of water. However, the 9th wonder of the world, capybaras, are still nowhere to be seen. Chris, Jay, I don't know if you're watching, but just in case you are, look, they've got flamingos. Oh, that one's spreading out. They heard me. Okay, I actually really like this little greenhouse area. It's good to include the plants as well as the animals when you're out for these educational days. And it smells amazing in here. Yeah, really digging the vibes. Just checking out the animal hospital here, and it doesn't look like there's any treatments going on right now, but it's still very cool to see the room where they do all the treatments and all the care for the animals. And I guess if they were doing some sort of procedure, you'd actually be able to sit here and watch what happens firsthand. All right, moving on to our next area, which is the Eurasia Wilds. So earlier today when we were in the Indo-Malay Pavilion, we saw these Sumatran tigers, but here we have a different species, the Amur tigers. Kind of cool how they have some of each.
You can see it boarding.
Come over here this way. You can see its tail hanging look high up. You see it?
All right, there's one last major area for us to explore other than the Canadian Dominion, which I think we're gonna skip for today, and that's the Australia Pavilion. So in the future, this exhibit is going to be home to some Komodo dragons, but right now, as we can see, it's home to the Sariama. I might be mispronouncing that, but this guy. So one of the coolest parts of this pavilion, and probably the thing I'm most been looking forward to seeing, is the Great Barrier Reef exhibits. Got some little moon jellies in here. Just little tiny guys. Looks like someone's trying to do some cleaning here. Okay, so I couldn't find the wombat inside, but it looks like he's in his outdoor summer home. Makes sense. Yeah, he's just out here. Although if I'm not mistaken, I think this habitat is actually connected to the indoor one as well, so he can choose to be indoor or outdoor whenever he pleases. We saw the same kind of thing over at the Americas Pavilion with some of the monkeys. And in here we have some wallabies and kangaroos. Great kangaroos here. There's another species as well, but the ones at the zoo are the great ones. All right, so I pretty much have done everything that I've wanted to do at the zoo at this point, except for the Canadian area, which again, honestly, skippable in my opinion. But I think what I want to do is, because we're an hour and 15 minutes away from the start of the drag show, is I'm gonna grab a quick early dinner. And as I was walking around, I actually found this really cool restaurant that serves actual African cuisine in the African area. So I wish I saw that earlier when I was looking for lunch, but better late than never, I guess. So we're gonna circle over there, grab some dinner, and then I need to run out and switch out my glasses before the show. So we'll do that. And yeah, see where the rest of the evening takes us from there. I don't think I'll have time for the Canadian Pavilion though. Like maybe, we'll see, but I'm not counting on it. And honestly, my day has been so full and so perfect without it that I would rather go back and maybe see the orangutans more, like, you know. After spending the day surrounded by the diversity of the animal kingdom, it's hard not to notice how many different ways that life finds to exist, to communicate, and to be seen. So it felt fitting that this day, a celebration of life in all of its forms, would end with the celebration of expression, creativity, and pride. This is the Zooganza Eleganza.
It's time to welcome your host to the stage, Miss Carlotta Carlisle.
Again.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Well, yes. Make noise for Carlotta, everybody.
Alrighty, and that is going to do it for my day here at the Toronto Zoo for Pride Day. That was such a fabulous end to the day, but I mean, even just, oh my god, my brain's all over the place. The day itself was awesome. I'm so glad that I got to return to the zoo after all these years. I really enjoyed seeing all the exhibits, and I think some of my favorites from the day had to be probably the tamarins. I loved how active they were. The river otters were fun to see. Really loved seeing what I could of the orangutans, the gorillas. I don't know, I loved all the animals. And then of course the drag show, so much fun. I cannot pick a favorite queen because they were all so amazing, and I love how they all kind of like stuck to the theme of animals and the jungle and whatnot. Like it was just perfect and just such a fun show. I wish it was longer. Like they said, oh, this is the last song, and I'm like, wait, are you serious? It's done. So yeah, I wish it was a little longer, but other than that, amazing day. Days like this are a reminder of why I love places like the Toronto Zoo. Not just because of the animals, or the attractions, or even the unexpected moments, but because they bring together curiosity, connection, and celebration, all in one place. Whether you're here to learn more about the animal kingdom, to deepen your connection to nature, or to try something new, or simply to be yourself, there's room for it all. So be wild, be free, and be you. That's all for this adventure. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more adventures from theme parks, attractions, and beyond, you might want to consider becoming a subscriber. And hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video. Big shout out to my Patreon members for going above and beyond in supporting this channel. Their monthly contributions help me to keep this channel going, and to improve it with new software and equipment. If you'd like to support me in this way, and get some cool perks in return, head on over to patreon.com/ATVParker to learn about all of the different tiers that I have available. Of course, all the other ways you support me, by liking, commenting, sharing, and all that wonderful YouTube stuff, are also greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, the adventures are calling. Bye! We just saw the signal.
No.